Hey guys, how's it going? A lot of you probably clicked on this video and you probably even forgot that you subscribed to me because I haven't uploaded in a long time. I've never really shown my face on this channel and I've only ever done gaming videos. So, welcome to the channel. My name is Optimus Prime 809, in case you've forgotten who I am. You can call me Harshim. And I am also very active on Instagram at Malgus_Prime. That is where I post the most. So usually around this time of year I would do a top 10 action figures post of the previous year that's just passed. But usually they get kind of text heavy. There's a lot that I have to say about the various figures that I purchased. So I thought this year I would try something different. Something that's a bit more digestible, hopefully a bit more engaging, and I thought I'd do a video instead of a post. This way you can just sort of sit back, enjoy a tea, a coffee, maybe something stronger, I don't judge. Maybe you could be taking a dump, maybe you could be getting ready for your day, and you could just have me jabbering in the background, and you can just listen to my useless opinions and thoughts. But top 10 lists are always fun, aren't they? Especially for toys, because they're so open-ended and just a bit of fun, really, aren't they? So I was thinking of doing a list for Transformers, because I'm a big Transformers fan, and perhaps a separate list for non-Transformers figures, such as Marvel, DC, Star Wars, that sort of thing. It's just because I bought a hell of a lot of figures last year, and I thought it would be easier to do separate videos rather than try and cram everything into one, and it just gets kind of difficult ranking figures that way, and a lot of good figures probably get shafted if I was to do that. So I thought two separate videos at least would be a nice sort of balance, and would help me to give credit where credit's due, because there was a lot of good stuff that I picked up. But bear in mind, this is just going to be my list, so obviously there's going to be, it doesn't necessarily mean that these are the best figures. It's just what I like the most. It's going to be figures that I acquired this year, so it's not just going to necessarily be figures that were released in 2022. So yeah, let's just sort of see what happens. It's going to be fun, I think. So, stick with me. I don't know how long this video is going to be, because it's the first time I've done anything like this. So, yeah, let's get into it. Alright, and at number 10 we have the Legacy Velocitron Voyager Override. This is a Smiths exclusive in the UK. To me, this is how Legacy really should be. This is a faithful modern take on the original character design from Transformers Cybertron. As you saw, the vehicle mode looks very nice, and the robot mode is a huge improvement when compared to the original figure. There's a lot of great articulation for sure. The waist is limited, but I do think there's a mod to fix this that I haven't yet done. It just involves cutting a few tabs, and I might do this in the future. I think the original figure has a better car, but this figure is a great balance and is overall a better figure than the original. The only things holding it back are the price. It was like £33 upon release, though it is on sale now for about £25, kind of kicking myself. There's a lack of Cyberplanet key, and I don't personally have much attachment to the character.
Número 9. Inteligente Robos.
My list, my rules, so this isn't cheating. Both of these were too good not to mention, so here I am mentioning them. It's the Studio Series Deluxe Bumblebee Movie Ratchet and Wheeljack. I think, to me, they're both at a similar level, but I think I just prefer Ratchet because of how naturally he poses. Wheeljack feels a little bit static in comparison, and it's harder to pose him, I feel. There's excellent sculpting on these, and I really enjoy the light piping on Ratchet. The Hasbro designers had to design the vehicle modes pretty much from scratch. They were just given the robot modes. I feel they did a really good job, because all of the vehicle modes on the Bumblebee movie figures are just so nice, except Soundwave, not Soundwave. He's Krabby Patty. The robot modes are pretty much entirely screen accurate, except for the parts where they had to make concessions to allow them to transform, and the transformations are actually all very clever. Ratchet basically turns inside out, and I love that. The main thing that really let these figures down was the arm articulation, because you can't really get two-handed gun poses, and the lack of paint, which, yes, as you can see, I've corrected. Yeah, I'm a customizer too, it's no big deal. Ultimately, these figures are excellent, and I don't think you can go wrong with them. Also, I've got no idea why they changed Wheeljack's head for Rise of the Beast, because this was perfect.
What the hell? Oh my god, no way!
Man, I was so torn when ranking this guy. You see, on the one hand, he's been one of my main grails for over a decade at this point, and he is stellar, let me tell you. But, on the other hand, he's incomplete, and the base gold plastic was just so drab that I had to repaint it. Plus, I did get so many other banging figures this year that didn't necessarily have many issues, and they were all complete. So I still don't really feel this is necessarily the right position for this figure, but I had to put it somewhere. I absolutely love the robot mode. This athletic build is something that I don't really feel has ever been done on another Transformer figure that I know of. At least not this well. This silhouette is so clean. I mean, just put him in the dark, have some backlight on him, he's just gonna pop. The vehicle mode is a huge dub, it's very slick. I feel the arm articulation is a little hindered, so that's one of the weaker points of the figure. I know some people that have the figure complete with the bow, but because of the arm articulation they can't really get the really cool bow poses that you might want to be able to put him into. But yeah, all the other articulation feels very ahead of its time. Look at that ankle pivot. I think the only way this figure could really be better is if it was the Takara one, because that thing is to die for. The paint is beautiful. So as I'm missing the bow, I've given him the Lightning Collection Pink Ranger bow, and I was just sort of thinking of customizing that to perhaps better match Hot Rod. So yeah, my number 8 pick, Transformers Animated Deluxe Class Hot Rod, or Rodimus Minor as I believe he was called.
Número 7, Gofia Robos.
Well, this is me not cheating again. But don't worry, I'm not planning on doing it again this video. Or am I? Well, I guess you gotta wait and see. I like to keep you guessing. So, similar to how Ratchet and Wheeljack were on a similar level to each other, I feel these two are on a similar level to each other. Except these ones are even more fun than Ratchet and Wheeljack because of their exceptional engineering and articulation. These genuinely don't look like they could transform. I mean, if you saw these robots for the first time, you couldn't guess what they turned into unless you were a serious nerd. Braun's vehicle is just so fun. I think it reminds me of a rickshaw, and I love that you can put a drill bit at the front and sort of make it a pointy rickshaw. RC's bike is very cool, as is a robot mode. I think this might be the best official RC we've ever gotten, maybe not including the masterpieces. I've customised Braun, as you can see, so I do think paint is what brings these down, but yeah, nothing major, and this is my number 7 pick.
Número 6. Menacing Robot.
So I got this guy fairly recently on sale, and for the price I paid, this is crazy good value. I mean, I love this, I'm so happy. I mean, I'm getting Motormaster, his trailer, and a basically complete combiner. Amazing. I love the clever transformation, where the front of the truck becomes the legs. And that rarely happens with truck transformers, usually that part becomes the abdomen. The paint overall is quite minimal, but very nice. I mean, look at those painted tiny wheels. Speaking of wheels, the main wheels are actually pinned. I mean, that's incredible in 2022. Usually we get those clip-on wheels and they just look so cheap. The trailer isn't just some useless piece, it actually serves to make Menasor, which is amazing. Though I don't quite like the turrets, because I feel like they could have instead used that to make a massive gun for Menasor, which you can see in the video here what my take on
Stop
that
the cap.
looks like. But yeah, overall I don't even feel the need to buy the rest of the Stunticons to get Menasor. I just maybe need some 3D printed parts to close the shin doors. So that's a lot of money saved. But yeah, at full price this guy wouldn't be worth it. He was going for stupid money and I didn't even consider buying him until I saw him on sale, which is why he's low.
Número 5. Childbearing Lips Robot.
Look, I know what you're thinking. And no, I'm not a sussy backer, okay?
Are you sure about that?
That's not why I bought Windgirl. I bought her because I love Windblade as a character, and Hasbro have failed to give us a good version of her since they created her. back in like 2013.
Oh, I don't think so.
I've been reading the IDW comics and Moonblade was really cool there, so I just wanted a good representation of her and this happened to be the best fit.
What do you mean by that?
So many accessories like swords of different sizes, hands and face plates, and a stand, but I haven't used that. No assemblies required, and she transforms, so she already destroys the Flame Toys model in pretty much every way except scale. She's MP scale rather than deluxe scale, so you know, it's not too bad. You're getting more plastic, I suppose. Plus her engineering is pretty complex, so I feel like the extra size helps with that. I do love how customizable both of her modes are. You know, you can really make that jet mode look however you want it to look, and you can make the robot mode look however you want it to look by positioning the sword in different ways. But yeah, she's really easy to pose and she looks good always, but there is some poor QC with pretty much every copy because the hips were assembled wrong. It doesn't really affect too much, but it's a bit annoying just knowing it's there. Also, some of the joints are very squeaky and tight, but I mean, I suppose you could put some WD-40 in those joints and that might help you. But yeah, the wings are extremely floppy, which does hurt posability, but yeah, the paint job makes it all okay. So this is my first ever official Masterpiece figure. I got it for like £50, so I am loving this. Flipping bargain. I'm balling, I love it. It's got such a shelf presence. It's great articulation, the paint is pretty much all you want, and the keyboard tidies up nicely in robot mode. Plus, I like how the spring-loaded shoulders work, very satisfying indeed. It does also include die-cast parts, which isn't something I've seen on an official Transformer for ages. But the problem arises with the vehicle mode. I'm sure you've all heard about the cat ears by now, but even without those, the truck just looks disproportionate. It's a bit too long, I think. The Studio Series figure is overall a better figure, as both modes look killer there, but this one goes all in on the robot mode, and it knocks it out of the park. That toy guy described this like the Pixel 6A of Masterpiece figures, and yeah, I think that's a good analogy. The 6A is a great value-oriented smartphone which ended up winning MKBHD's Smartphone Camera of the Year award for 2022. And, just like the 6A, this figure goes hard. When I first saw pictures of this, I knew I had to get it, no matter the cost. A triple change in drift that looked cool in all modes? Take my money, take my money. People were hyping it up online and getting it in hand, I felt it too. This is something special. This feels very premium and very cleverly designed. Those thigh pads even shift down to allow for a greater range of leg movement. I mean, that's so dope. The robot mode is chef's kiss. No complaints on how it looks. But the problem I have is that the articulation in some places, like the head and the wrists, is just a bit limited. The Bugatti mode looks just like it should and feels great. I haven't transformed it yet into the helicopter mode, and that leads me to the major drawback of this figure, the transformation. Oh my god, I hated it. It's not fun at all. It was actually very painful, in that it scratched me up and caused me literal pain. It took me nearly an hour just to get it from car mode to robot mode, so I don't even want to try turning him into a helicopter. Though, to be fair, I don't see how you can get something that looks this screen accurate to be a triple changer and have a nice transformation. We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close. So this figure released in 2021, but I think it would be on the list regardless of what year I bought him in, because he is just that cool. Just wow, love him. You probably initially think that he's just a retool of the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, but no, he's entirely different. That old man face of his says it all. This is no wisecracking juvenile. Yeah, I got this guy on sale, so the deal is even sweeter. I love the articulation. The articulated hands work really well here. They're always really appreciated on Transformers, and here it's just done so well. It feels very easy to pose, and I've had lots of fun messing with him. I do like the transformation quite a lot, and in particular how certain parts work. For example, how the whole upper body basically has to rotate twice, and how the arms transform for vehicle mode. Very cool. But the back peg does kind of worry me, as it's clear plastic and does require a lot of force to tab that in, so I might shave the peg down. We'll see. Clear plastic and transformers is just not a good mix, especially for pressure points. The accessories are fine, you know, I like those big blouses and the huge rifle. That huge rifle is pretty cool, except, you know, because of the articulation, he doesn't really hold it so well in two-handed poses. But, you know, it's nice that it's there, it's very faithful to the source material. The sword also kind of does it for me. I wasn't expecting that for Rodimus. You know, I've never really seen him with a sword, but yeah, goes hard, love it. But yeah, those black smoke effects are kind of odd though. I think if Rodimus was to take his vehicle mode into London, yeah, he'd just get slapped with a ULEZ charge, because that is not an eco-friendly vehicle mode, I'm telling you now. But yeah, no, the trailer is a big old chunk, and I don't have much use for it like outside of the vehicle mode, but it does complete the look. And you know, the G1 toy did it, so you know, we can't really fault Hasbro for doing that again, because it's faithful at least. It's kind of weird that the wheels weren't painted, especially at the Commander price point. You know, I had to do that myself using a silver Sharpie. But yeah, no, other than that, Rodimus himself is probably one of the best figures from the whole War for Cybertron series, in my opinion. Really nice. Yes, it's time to set those fireworks off indoors, because here we are at number 1. This is a blast from the past, isn't it? Except it kind of isn't, because this is the AC-01 Arms Iron, or KO Transformers Prime First Edition bulkhead. For the longest time I was lacking a bulkhead to complete my Team Prime, as the first edition figures were never released in the UK sadly, and the Prime RID one just wasn't very good. Him completing my team is one of the main reasons why I think he should be my number 1 pick, as he's the cherry on the cake, the bow on the present. But as well as that, he's just a really nice figure in and of himself, and he exemplifies the best of the Transformers brand from the peak years of the brand, around that 2009 to like 2012 period. Now, this being a KO, it actually does some things better than the original figure, as is often the case nowadays. It's got these great hand cannons that make it look like they sprung from his arms, just like in the show, and it also comes with a handle, so that you can attach the cannon pieces to it and make this big honking hammer, and it's incredible, very inventive, very nice. I like the transformation a lot, and the fact that faux parts aren't used is very nice, very cool. Everything has its place in the robot mode. The articulation is also really good for such a chungus. You know, he's pretty spry considering his build. Not fat shaming your bulkhead, but you know, I'm just making an observation. The plastic quality is just so good. I mean, I wouldn't even need to do Shepardron's pencil test, because this thing is well, let's just say if you threw this at someone, they would break. The figure wouldn't break, they would break. This is like a Nokia. It's incredible. I'm assuming the original figure was also built that way, but this KO is crazy. Very nice. The vehicle mode itself is also very nice. It's very faithful to the show, very fun to just mess with. It's like a big Tonka truck. You can just put it in the sand pit, roll it around, and you know, nothing's going to happen to it. You don't need to worry about it breaking or anything like that. There was a separate KO that was released after this one that has a paint job inspired by the Takara release, and had I known about that one before I bought this one, I probably would have gotten that one, but this one certainly looks very spiffy, and yeah, I don't feel the need to buy the other one really. So in summary, this is my number 1 pick, primarily because of how much it means for my collection, but also because it's such a damn good figure by itself, and it's a lot of fun, and I can't recommend it enough, especially for the price. So there we go, there's the list. Wow, 2022, what a great year, eh? Well, it was in terms of toys at least. In terms of real life, well, it was basically the 2020 saga continued. But, you know, that's part of the reason why some of us collect toys, to keep our sanity. Yeah, I crossed off some grails that I've been after for a while with the animated Hot Rod and the Prime Bulkhead. And yeah, could you tell that I like Rodimus as a character? I mean, we had 2 just on that one top 10 list. He just gets all the good toys, I think. I mean, it's a bit unfair, really. It wouldn't be a true top 10 Transformers list without an Optimus on there, so NPM Bumblebee Movie Optimus, there you go. What a great figure that is. There was the Studio Series Bumblebee movie figures. They all slapped, all of them, like Soundwave. He's not on the list because of his alt mode, if you can call it that. It's not really much, but his robot mode is really very good. And the ones that were on this list, the RC, the Brawn, the Ratchet and the Wheeljack, they were all incredible figures. Honourable mention to the Bumblebee movie Thrust. I ended up getting 2 of him because I got both of them on sale and they're just so good. I'm going to customise one, I think. We had Bingo Toys, that's quite the figure, eh? Like I said, not a sussy backer, not a simp, but
every day,
just
more
what an
life.
excellent figure. I picked mine up from TF Safari, I believe. If you want to check out that site, that's where I got mine from. Not sponsored, just pointing you to the right direction in case you wanted to get a copy for yourself. I also got the Metagate Haiku from TF Safari, in that same order in fact. He's a great figure for sure. I'll probably be keeping him in robot mode for the foreseeable future because the transformation is awful. The other 2 modes actually look pretty good to me. The car mode, sorry, especially because, I mean, that's just basically a Bugatti Chiron. The helicopter mode, yeah, it's not the best, but I think it captures the silhouette of the helicopter from the film, so I quite like it. And we also had Motormaster, very nice, lots of good value if you pay the right price for him. Override, lovely figure. It's nice to see the Unicron trilogy getting some love. We've got all of these lovely Armada figures coming soon in the Evolution. I'm very excited for them. And then Bulkhead, great. I finally completed Team Prime. I know in the video Jazz was there rather than Smokescreen. I do have Smokescreen, he's just in a box somewhere. I will dig him out eventually. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think I'm going to edit a clip in. You'll see that in a second. I forgot to bring it here, but watch the clip. Here you go. Wait, there was something I forgot. There was. Want to give an honourable mention to the Legacy Velocitron IDW Blur. This guy's great, but I had to do a mod in order to make him truly great. He had that awful kibble on his arms, right? And I did this little mod to just stick those parts on his back and make him look very comic accurate. These look like his thrusters. You can kind of maneuver them about and give him like these cool missile pack kind of things. Simple mod really. You just shave away under there, and then well, you can remove these. It's a bit of parts forming, but very cool. Still transforms. Yeah. Back to the monologue, and we're back. So yes, honourable mention to Blur, and I think that's about it. I just want to give special love and a shout out to OSRS Beats for letting me use his music in the video. He's amazing. I've listened to his music for years really. So if you want to check out his channel, give him some love. I'll leave a link in the description, and you can just drop a comment on one of his videos and tell him I sent you. And if you're still here, comment I'm still here, and maybe let me know your favourite Transformers that you acquired in 2022. I'd genuinely love to hear it. Let's have a discussion in the comments, eh? And so yeah, I think that's about it. So I think the next video will be the top 10 favourite non-Transformers figures that I acquired in 2022. Don't know how long that will be, but it'll be here at some point. And that's about it. So check me out on Instagram at Malgus_Prime. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon, guys. Bye.